the east bank of the Cumberland River and across the water from the Tennessee State Capitol building, there's a look at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. A lot has changed since these two met in Super Bowl 34, and off we go between the Rams and Titans. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Ward throwing to start the drive. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long. Back to throw. Ward. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. That's dumped off to Pollard. And he is going to lose yardage here. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Stafford and the Rams come up first and 10 at about the 32. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's complete to Adams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20. Here's Stafford. That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. That'll give him 8 that time, and that will bring up second down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
First run now for Kyron Williams. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Now Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. That third down conversion good for 23.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
That's caught. Puka Nacua. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. To the air again, Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 13-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Allen's got it complete. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Back to throw, Stafford. He's got Higbee complete right side. It'll be a gain of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Again, it's Stafford. Got his man. It's Williams. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11th. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
And his kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
He finds his man, Pollard.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 31-yard line. A nice throw from the rookie out of Miami, and it's going to be good for a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans.
Okonkwo.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Titans are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And able to get this out to the 25.
So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Stafford now to throw. It's caught here by Adams. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Stafford looks to throw again.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the
simple,
guys
huh?
up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Open man downfield is Ridley. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field.
Touchdown, Titans. Calvin Ridley, 71 yards.
And the Titans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Up the middle, it's Williams.
And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. After one, a 14-3 ball game. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. To throw is Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
From the gun, here's Stafford.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 35. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now it's Stafford.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
And his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he returns this to the 22.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Ward.
That's to the tight end, Wiley.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Brought down on the play by Amani Hooker.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Stafford. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Here's Ethan Evans now.
This is taken at the 18. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And it'll be Titan football.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
They go play action here on 1st down.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun. Ward.
Returning right back to Lockett.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Off the play fake. Ward. That is caught. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run with Pollard.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Pollard one more time.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Tony Pollard taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Titans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At about the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Stafford to Higbee there. Rams 1st down.
And a nice job by the 2 of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
Now Stafford. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Credit the sack there to Arden Key.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing is Stafford.
That one into the hands of Adams downfield.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out third and long.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Stafford. He's got Smith here. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 23. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Back to throw, Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Two yards to go, second down.
Here's Stafford. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
They called the corner blitz, and Roger McCreary, he got in there and earned the sack. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
The first play of the second half, a big success, over 30 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Stafford now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case,
now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. To the air again, Stafford.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. And that will keep this a 12-point game. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Ward. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Ward.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
L.A. set to take over again on offense.
Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. Stafford.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taken right around the 44. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10. To throw is Ward. Throwing to start the drive.
He'll complete this one to Okonkwo.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw again.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Put a man in motion left, Ridley.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
And this a 39-yard attempt.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change, because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 9.
Again, it's Williams. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded just inside the 20. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Pollard will take it up the gut. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
11 more on that one and another 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
In motion, the tight end. Looking to throw. Ward.
Throw to the right, caught by Okonkwo.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Ward. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. Ward. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Titans have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Here's Stafford. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford.
Here's back-to-back catches for Devontae Adams.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Stafford looks to throw again. Over the middle and complete to the tight end Higbee. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1.
Stafford. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now it's Stafford. Toward the pylon, caught.
And the Rams are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now Stafford. And it's caught. Touchdown, Rams. Tyler Higbee from 3 yards out.
And the Rams are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
Out come the Titans now.
If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. So the drive's going to start with Pollard.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 67 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
And now a fake there on the jet sweep as they'll give to Pollard.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down.
Ward work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Titans first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it's complete right back to Ridley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
In motion goes the tight end. 2nd and 14. It's caught. Lockett. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
This to make it a 3-score game late.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now the Rams offense getting the football back. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 27. They begin the drive with Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing is Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Throwing again is Stafford.
That is caught, and he is going to have a Rams first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Here's Stafford.
He's got his man. It's Nakua. And he is going to have a Rams first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
That one into the hands of Adams downfield.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Davante Adams, 35 yards.
And the Rams have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Titans are going to recover the football. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Second down, Pollard again.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. It's Ridley.
And he will be out of bounds. A good yardage there, and he'll get a second to catch his breath as it leads us right into the 2-minute warning. Option play. Here's Pollard. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Here's Pollard again. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. Third and 2. Out of the gun to give to Pollard. And he is going to have a Titans first down, and that should just about do it. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The football going back to the Rams now.
This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. He hits Adams, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans are winners here as we say so long from Nashville.